Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the 10 Count Podcast brought to you by Bodyslam.net. It's your boys, Justin and Ty, back at it this time on Thursday as usual, but we will be moving forward most likely for Wednesday. So tune in next Wednesday for the live episode because we are kind of shifting days. As you've seen us, we've done the Wednesdays before, and that's what's going to work out for us best. So make sure to start looking for us on the Wednesdays and not the Thursdays. And hopefully I won't be plain and pathetic like my walls currently since I'm in the middle of a move. And hopefully maybe I'll have some more wrestling stuff up. Who knows? The sky's the limit when you move. You decorate, you do all the fun stuff. But you guys don't give a shit about my living situation. You guys give a shit about professional wrestling. And we got some fun stuff going on because we're finally getting the showdown we've been waiting for. The fake invasion / showdown that's happening with the NXT group and the TNA group. I mean, we're getting it next week on Tuesday. I'm super pumped. Justin, how you feeling about it?
Oh, I'm excited. I can't wait. Najee, he's a part of Body Slam. He has his own NXT with Najee show. He goes to every single episode pretty much. He drives 2 hours to Orlando. He said he got his tickets today. So he's super pumped. I can't wait. I know why they changed off the name Invasion to Showdown. Obviously, Santino came out and him and Ava said, hey, we have a nice working relationship. I don't really see this as an invasion, but that's what it is. It's a showdown. I can't wait to get into the episode and what we have in store. So let's get into it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope this continues because I was hoping this would prolong itself a little bit, have a little more interactions. Maybe they want to like cut this kind of tension off quickly, but I don't see it happening because, Trick's not defending the championship on this show. He's still the TNA champion. He is team NXT. And then Kalani Jordan, which I think is a cool aspect, is team TNA. She's a face. She's a baby face. She wants to rep the brand that she's the champion of. I completely respect that. We do see some fallout from some of the other women and her decision to rep team TNA. But come on, I'm for it. I can't see, TNA having both their champions on team NXT. So I definitely think this works.
I agree. I love that Kalani put out on X a picture of Stone Cold walking down with the WCW shirt as if she was the defectee. I still, when we get into predictions, I think there's going to be some more drama to finish out how these matches end. But I definitely think that with the two, we'll say Survivor Series matches, TNA is going to win one and NXT is going to win one. But yeah, next Tuesday has the potential to be a extremely fun just night in general.
Yeah, I wish it was a PLA. I know it's going to be a normal Tuesday night, a normal NXT, not normal, but it's not being highlighted on Peacock. It's not a Saturday or Sunday PLE, but I think it's going to be one of their best shows. That's like a regular episode. And I want a lot more of this. This card is kind of stacked. Not kind of stacked, is stacked. I'm super excited about Ethan Page and Mustafa Ali. You got the Hardys and Dark State, winner take all. And of course, we have two traditional Survivor Series matches, which if you listen to our podcast before, we rave about those back in the day. I miss Survivor Series having those matches because to me, that was all the fun in the world, especially with the eliminations, who's DQing themselves, who's turning on who, because when you have, in this case, it's 4, but usually when you have 5 men or women with each other, they don't all get along, especially when it's like for brand supremacy. So this is going to be fun. I hope there's defectors. I hope there's a lot of twists and turns in both Survivor Series matches because it's going to be an awesome ride. Maybe we do see Kalani do a swerve to help Team NXT, but I don't know. I feel like out of anyone, she might be, she might stick true. I don't know.
So the thing that I love about these Survivor Series matchups is the potential of storylines that come out of it, right? Like you just mentioned, defectors, people doing this and that. The storylines are endless, and these storylines that come from these matches can build and continue on for months and months now. This could be the start of something else, right? Sure, it sucks that it's not a PLE because now I feel like the time limit, the time's going to be crunched. There's not going to be enough time to really do what's needed. But I mean, you saw Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry talking it backstage. They said that they have to be a part of it somehow. You know, Mike Santana doesn't know, hey, Joe, you have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Is Joe going to show his face during this match? Is he going to be the part? Like, are we? I mean, I have another idea, which we'll get into, but like, is he's not on the match card. Him and Jordan Grace said that they need to be involved in this somehow. So how do they get involved?
Yeah,
it's to be seen.
It is, and I think they're like, I think what you're alluding to as well, which I'm thinking is the fact that Joe Hendry might be the reason that TNA might lose that men's Survivor Series matchup, right? He goes out to like show his true colors to help Team TNA, but all of a sudden costs them to lose the match, and then furthermore add some turmoil to what Joe Hendry's doing in NXT, and then Team TNA will never trust him ever again, and maybe that's his out. Maybe that's his way to be full-time NXT.
Hey, when we get into the predictions, we will definitely discuss it. But I definitely smell what you're stepping in. Let's put it that way. I definitely, I'm kind of barking up that tree as well. But that's the fun of it, dude. Like, there's so much potential for Tuesday night.
Yeah,
like anything can happen. Whatever they want to happen for the future will happen. And obviously, we know that this relationship between TNA and NXT, it's not going anywhere. They announced it was like a 4-year or whatever. Like, it's years and years. So this is not a one-off. This is going to continuously happen. And that's why you and I have said that's why NXT is so damn fun to watch, because anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. And it just like gives me that nostalgia factor of when WCW and ECW first invaded WWF back in the day. Like, you didn't know who was showing up. You didn't know who was going to win the championships. You had, The Rock as WCW champion. You had awesome feuds with Booker T, with DDP, and I think it was it Chris Kanyon? I forget who it was, against Undertaker and Kane. You had DDP stalking Undertaker's wife. Like, we had some like iconic moments in wrestling history because of that invasion angle. And I think we're only going to have that replicated here. I think we're going to have a lot of iconic moments for TNA, for NXT, for years to come. Especially if you said, I didn't know that. I didn't know there was like a 4-year deal of them working together. So, I mean, if we have 4 years of this, I mean, the moments we'll get will surpass wrestling history. I think we're going to have a lot of cool moments. I think it's going to, kind of set NXT and TNA as, big staples within professional wrestling. And I just can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I mean, don't quote me. I don't know if it's 4 years, but they did make an announcement. Like, it was a huge announcement a few months ago, and they said that they have come to an agreement to. I know it's definitely. Well, I guess I don't know because I don't remember what it said, but I believe it's at least 2+ years. So we're in it for the long run, and that's why this is beautiful. I mean, WWE clearly wants TNA to get a TV deal.
Yeah.
Carlos Silva, president of TNA, has said that they are working on a TV deal. So I hope, and I'm still hoping, that that's going to be announced at Bound for Glory in Massachusetts. And then it's no holds barred. Like, let's go. Let's see what happens, because they've already announced that they're going to be doing 3 live shows at Full Sail, where NXT is, where that's NXT's home. So if you put pieces of the puzzle together, I kind of see where this is going in a way.
Yeah, I agree. Let's get into the predictions. I want to talk about it. I'm excited. I mean, first and foremost, we have the Hardys versus Dark State. Winner takes all, championship for championship. Everyone else is banned from ringside. How do you think this one's going to go, Justin?
Jeff and Matt Hardy need a tag titles that have been eluding them, obviously, because they haven't been in NXT. To complete that trifecta or whatever, however many tag titles there have been in WWE, the Hardys are going to collect those belts on Tuesday night. The Hardys are winning. They will be NXT and TNA tag team champions.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I agree because we still have, what was it, Bound for Glory, where
Bound for Glory is
the
coming up.
Hardys are supposed to go against the Dudleys. So
Yes.
to me, I mean, I feel like two of these matches, in my eyes, kind of get diminished by future matches, future feuds, and this is one of them. I mean, Matt and Jeff are going to hold the NXT and TNA Tag Team Championships. I think Dark State being banned from ringside kind of solidifies that as well. And you know, Dark State, sky's the limit for them. I could see them winning these titles right back if that's the case. If they get a rematch and they go right back at it, and they're a thorn in everyone's side, and especially if they lose it to TNA superstars, they're going to continue to invade TNA and show up and be a nuisance there as well. So yeah, I agree with you. I think the Hardys walk out TNA and NXT Tag Team Champions, and if that's the case, maybe the Hardys lose the TNA Tag Team Championships to the Dudleys, and they can still be NXT champions. I don't know.
See that? I know Bully Ray. He said that obviously the match on Tuesday night has some implications for that match at Bound for Glory because they could lose, and all of a sudden they're not TNA World Tag Team Champions. But I'm curious to see if obviously the TNA World Tag Team Championships are on the line at Bound for Glory, but if and when the Hardys win the NXT Tag Team Championships, are those also going to get added into the stipulation against the Dudleys? So will it be the Dudleys versus the Hardys for both the NXT Championships and the TNA Championships? Because I mean, Bully Ray obviously has a very well working relationship with WWE still, with LFG and everything. So I mean, I could see that happening too, like them all of a sudden adding some extra gold to this stipulation, to this match, to make it that much bigger at Bound for Glory.
That would make it fun. I would be for that. I think that'd be really cool. And I mean, honestly, I think the Hardys would come out on top if that was the case. I think that the professional wrestling world is kind of pushing the Hardys on this, like, not last, but it could be their last epic title run. So why not, cap it with a win against the Dudleys and defending two championships at the same time? And I mean, the Hardys right now, especially, they were just on like Kai Cenat's freaking Cenat's like live stream. They're just like, they're popping up everywhere. They're staying relevant in social media. They're like the team that never dies. And I mean, I'm happy for them. This is an exciting, chapter of their career, and it could be one of their last. And it's cool that we're kind of getting this moment where the Hardys are back in WWE TV and possibly winning a championship, a WWE championship back, one they haven't won before. So it's exciting.
Yeah, and just to finish off on this match, there's a bunch of people that we've spoken about that we would love to see end their careers in WWE. They've made their careers in WWE, and the Hardys are two of them. Jeff and Matt, I don't know how long their contracts are with TNA are for, but there's the rumors about Chris Jericho, right? How Jericho hasn't been seen, and then he actually just put on Instagram today that it was like 35 years to today when he had his first match, and then at the end of the caption he said, and the good thing is it's still not over. Rumors are running wild. We're going to see Chris Jericho back in WWE, finish in WWE, and then I'm hoping he deserves a Hall of Fame retirement with WWE for everything he's done. I would love to see the same for the Hardys. Give the Hardys one last run in WWE and then do a send-off at WrestleMania, whether it be this WrestleMania or next. And then just, there you go. You finish on top where you belong, in the WWE Hall of Fame. So I definitely see the Hardys winning Tuesday and then beating the Dudleys and then eventually probably dropping the TNA titles, but maybe keeping NXT for a little bit and then going back to the main roster in WWE once they're officially back over to WWE.
So I like that. It's an interesting take. And Randy, as always, on Facebook, howdy, my man. Love the stopping as usual. But yeah, I think that's definitely a cool route that they can go. And I was laughing hysterical because Rebby, when Matt was on Kai Cenat's live stream, she's like, my husband is on one of the biggest live streamers stream in the world, and he gets my account name wrong. He calls me my account Rebecca Hardy, and it's never been that. It's always been Rebby. I was laughing my ass off. It was so funny. Anyway, I want to get into Ethan Page and Mustafa Ali because I love the story behind it. I love Mustafa coming out and saying, this was my shot. I had this match lined up until I got let go, and I want this match. I'm getting this match. I'm fighting for the NXT North American Championship, and this is awesome. Mustafa's on again another level right now too. I think we might see another Tyler Steele come out. She's always getting rowdy in Mustafa's matches, so I can see her popping up. Maybe we get a Chelsea Green appearance to kind of counteract that. I don't think that's going to happen. I would love that, but I think this match is going to be a banger. I just think that Ethan's going to retain. We have this never-ending feud now with Ethan and Dr. Wagner Jr., so I think Ethan's going to keep this championship until he faces Dr. Wagner Jr. for it and maybe lose it to him, or maybe he retains. I don't know. That's to be seen. And that's the only reason why I can see that happening. I think it would be cool to see Mustafa, especially when he was a day away from fighting for the championship to get let go by WWE, to then win that championship and bring it to NXT. I mean, that's a hell of a story in itself.
Yeah, the story's there. It's noted that Shawn Michaels was a huge Mustafa Ali fan. Like, he wanted him to end up winning the North American Championship. We know the story. Mustafa did a great job in the ring with that. I'm not going to bitch. I'm going to politic, which is his character. I loved every second of it. You bring up a good point about Chelsea. There will be someone else in the arena Tuesday night in Full Sail, her husband, which we'll get into a little bit later. But yeah, I definitely think Mustafa is losing. So this will be a retain, like you said, by Ethan Page. And I do eventually see him losing it and then going up to the main roster, obviously, possibly with this whole Canadian connection with Chelsea Green. But yeah, I believe Ethan Page is going to walk out and still on Tuesday night, especially if the Hardys are taking the NXT tag titles. You got to balance it out. But then, hey, NXT's been taking every single title from TNA, so who the hell am I to say anything?
Yeah, I think anything can happen, honestly, because
you're right.
TNA has both. I mean, NXT has both TNA's top championships, so who knows? I mean, either way, I think it's cool. I don't think that match can go wrong for me. If anyone wins that, it doesn't matter. Like, for me, if Dark State were to win, I don't see it. It's just they're not fully there for me yet to be able to carry championships for both brands and still keep it entertaining. I mean, the Hardys are legends, and in this spot, like, Ethan and Mustafa are they're both gems right now. They're both on top of their game. Either one of them can really carry that championship. I like Ethan Page a lot more. I'm a big Ethan Page guy, but even seeing Mustafa live at Slammiversary was awesome. That match was full of fun against Moose, and I love the aspect of his guards or his service, and then Tyler Steele's. I mean, I love how she can weasel her way into these matches and help him out. It's a great dynamic he has for his character and his faction. So regardless of what happens, I think either one of them can do great with that championship. But I mean, come on, Ethan Page, all ego, baby.
I mean, we're both all ego.
We are.
Until he moves up to the main roster, which I hope is sooner rather than later, because I
Yeah.
think his time has almost run its course down in NXT. I'm ready
Yep.
to see him do some damage on the main roster.
I am too. I mean, I do enjoy him and what he's doing in NXT, but I want to see him cause some mayhem on the main roster as well. All right, let's get into I guess, the Women's Survivor Series match first. We have Team TNA, Team NXT. We have JC Jane, Jada Parker, Sol Ruka, Lola Vice versus Kalani Jordan, the Inspiration, right? Cassie and Jesse, and then Mara Sadie. First off, I just want to announce again, because I announce it every time that these three women are highlighted, is the fact that we have Jada Parker, Kalani Jordan, Lola Vice highlighted in this match. Kalani is obviously Team TNA. She is the TNA Knockouts champion. Lola Vice, Jada Parker proved themselves to be on that team. I mean, come on. It's just, we called it on this podcast. These three women are staples for this division, for this future. I mean, to me, I've said it before, Jada Parker is the most ready for me. I think she's got it in ring, on mic, the toughness. I mean, she is, to me, the most ready to make that jump to the main roster. So I want this to be a highlight performance for Jada. We got to see Lola fight for the NXT Women's Championship. She came up short, but to me, right now, since Kalani's got the TNA Knockouts Championship, Lola had her shot at the NXT Women's Championship. I think Jada gets a standout performance here because she really deserves it. Her and Last Legend put on a freaking clinic. It was a hell of a match. But I don't know, man. Anyway, going to the match itself, I feel like Team TNA might win this one because I think, like you said earlier, that this is going to be a 1-for-1 type deal. Team NXT is going to win one. Team TNA is going to be another. And I think this is where Team TNA kind of wins. I think people are going to be hesitant on Team TNA with Kalani. I think there's going to be some moments in this match where, it seems like she's going to sway, but I can see Kalani being the sole survivor for Team TNA and winning it for them.
I've been back and forth, man, on who I believe is going to win this match. And when thinking about what you and I, and even dating back to when Court was on the pod, the one thing that we've always said about NXT is how strong the women's division has always been. And sure, they lost Stephanie, they lost Julia, they lost her, and whatever. For that reason alone, like, you watch NXT every single week, it is mostly taken over by women's matches.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, hell, I think I don't know if it was Unreal or where, but backstage you saw Triple H himself saying, like, the women down in NXT are just taking over, like, they're just that damn good. So for that reason, I'm going to go different than you. I'm going to go Team NXT. I feel like Lainey Reed is going to have a part in this, especially after announcing to JC Jane that she was the woman behind the mask. And she's the one that took out Jasmine Nix. I feel like she might just call in a little favor. There's going to definitely be some shenanigans. And yeah, I just see Team NXT winning this one because I want to get into what I think with the men's. But okay. Yeah, I have Team NXT for the women's taking the victory.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I definitely get it. I mean, if you look at that roster, that team, it's unstoppable for the most part. If Team NXT does win, I don't think JC Jane's going to be the survivor or sole survivor if they go that route. I could see it being either Sol Ruka or Jada Parker, which I would love if one of them were to be like the sole survivor of Team NXT to show out. But I don't know. I feel like because Team NXT is so stacked, it kind of puts people's, sway in their favor. And that's why I'm kind of also leaning to that fact that Team TNA is going to kind of win that one.
I can't wait to see the Inspiration back in the WWE right now. I will tell you that much. I cannot wait.
All right. We got the men's matchup. Team NXT, Team TNA. We have Ricky Saints leading the charge, which, now I know why Oba dropped the championship. I mean, he might be getting called up, but also if he was in this match, he would just decimate everyone and he wouldn't tag anyone in. He would just win. So we have Ricky Saints, we have Trick Williams, Javon Evans, Miles Bourne, and then they're going against Santana, Kazarian, Moose, Leon Slater. I mean, I love we had Leon and Javon Evans tagging up. We have them going face to face in this, Survivor Series matchup, and then they're going to be gunning for each other for the X Division Championship. I hope their feud, well, not really feud, because they have a mutual respect. They're both young, they're both hungry, they're both super talented. We've seen it, right? Like, just because you guys hate each other doesn't mean we have to hate each other. So there's the mutual respect there, which I think is really cool. But I want them to just go at it. I want this to be a feud in the future. I think they both have super bright futures, and I can't wait to see that performance in there. But I am curious, Justin, about your whole hypothesis on how this is going to turn out. So I'm going to throw it to you to get your prediction first.
So I'll start with the things that my brain just processes regularly. So we have the next big pay-per-view, I guess you should say, because it's TNA, it's Bound for Glory. You have Santana, you have Trick Williams. I think you and I both, after being at Slammiversary, I think we both agree that finally Trick Williams is going to drop the TNA World title to Mike Santana. So being between NXT and TNA, like I said, the next big one is Bound for Glory. TNA has to stand tall at the end of the night. TNA has to close out the CW with Santana possibly even holding Trick's world title. Now, it hasn't been announced yet. I don't know if it's going to be announced yet, but Cardona got involved in Josh Briggs' match, right? On Tuesday night. I'm expecting maybe Cardona versus Briggs as another NXT TNA match that they might just add on as a fifth match to this card. If not, I am pretty shocked that Cardona was left off Team TNA. I understand he's the indie god. I don't think he's signed to TNA, so it makes sense that he's not there. But he will be there. And there's no way he's not showing face on this NXT TNA Showdown. So if there was ever a time for Cardona to sign a WWE contract, seeing how the pop that he's been getting down in Full Sail, there's ever a time for him to show face in this main event and then turn on Team TNA to join NXT, I don't think there's any better moment. So Cardona is the big wild card for me on the whole show. He's either going to fight Josh Briggs or he's going to turn on Team TNA and join Team NXT and then maybe sign a contract to solidify that he's back in WWE. Still don't think they're going to win. But if there's ever a way to bring him back into the fold, into WWE, I think it's that way. So that's the big prediction.
So my only concern is this, because I'm not going to knock NXT at all, because look what their performance, right? They're out of this world right now. But do you think Cardona would sign a contract who's already been on Raw and SmackDown, who's already been, Intercontinental champion or United States champion, Intercontinental champion? I think a United States champion, who's already tasted championship gold on the main roster? Do you think he would then be fine with signing on to be in NXT?
I think for the beginning, he's still clearly a part of this whole storyline. So if there's a few months where he's now Team NXT over Team TNA and he's, now fighting, let's just say for the North American Championship against Ethan Page or something, I definitely see him doing like a quick 5 to 6 month stint down in NXT. And then I mean, it's not a contract with NXT, it's a contract with WWE.
Yeah, you're right.
So if that, Ricky Starks, he's the NXT champion right now, but we eventually expect to see him up on the main roster. So, I mean, hey, it's close to his, him and Chelsea. They live in Florida. That's well known. He's back in WWE finally. I think WWE needed to see the reaction he was going to get. And God damn it, he got it. You and I both knew that Cardona was going to get the reaction that he got. So, hell, like, if there's ever a way to really bring yourself back into WWE TV, he put out that he's booked all October, but he saved the last 2 weeks. Like, he's off the last 2 weeks. I don't know if that's the end of his indie dates. It could be. I don't know. Hey, listen, if he wants to reach out, I would love to have him on the podcast, but I like to speculate, and that's what we do here. So he's booked throughout October, and then right after Bound for Glory, pretty much, he is taking 2 weeks off in October. The last 2 weeks off. He deserves it, don't get me wrong. But could there be another reason why he hasn't booked out the rest of October? Speculation. Put the tinfoil hat on my head, dude. I am all in on the conspiracy theories.
I mean, there is a reason why they highlighted him, right? He was the first one to come out during that title for title match between Oba and Trick. There's a reason he was highlighted. There's a reason he's in this, especially as the indie guy. Like, he's not a main TNA guy, but there's a reason they brought him into the fold. And, he's got, really no skin in the game that much for TNA. We've seen him wrestle there. He's wrestled there a few times, but he's also wrestled in WWE. So that'd be awesome. I think that would be a great way to turn. But I also can see Josh Briggs doing the turn because he was screwed out of the spot. I could see him costing Javon Evans, his moment in that ring and get him pinned. I feel like this match has a lot of potential for just absolute freaking mayhem. And I can't wait. I see, Trick is already trying to be co-captain with Ricky, and Ricky's like, nah, this is my team. I'm the NXT champion. You are the TNA champion. This is my team. I could see Trick costing Ricky, but to me, I honestly think that Trick's going to be the winner of this match. I know you said TNA has to look strong, that Santana should be holding the championship, but what an ending would it be if for Team NXT, the TNA champion is just standing strong as the winner? I think WWE and TNA are very high on Trick, and we were there at Slammiversary. The dude's getting booed out the arena, but when his music hits, everyone's yelling or singing "Whoop that Trick." His entrance is just electric. He has this aura that I feel like no one in NXT or TNA has. I could watch him all day. He's super freaking talented. I'm honestly surprised he hasn't got brought up yet, but I think he's just a staple right now for TNA, for NXT. So I think we could get the shock of the world and see Trick Williams be the sole survivor of Team NXT to win that match.
And I have no rebuttal to that other than, like, I, in my personal opinion, think that they have to split. And I think that's what we're just on opposite ends of the spectrum here.
Yeah.
And I totally see it happening your way too, which is why, like, I don't want to have I don't want to get my hopes up too high.
Yeah.
For Tuesday night, because it is on the CW. It is not a PLE. So there will be commercials like crazy. And there's going to be a strict cutoff at 10 p.m. I don't want to be disappointed, because that's what I was afraid of when they announced that it was going to be a regular NXT episode on Tuesday. I'm trying to keep my expectations to a minimum, but I'm not able to do that. Like, I am so excited for Tuesday night, and I just don't want to be disappointed, and I don't think I will. Obviously, there's more to come with this whole NXT TNA thing, but I just don't want to be disappointed.
because the potential's so freaking high.
It's so we just discussed like multiple ways that they can go about this, and that's just you and I imagine the writers in the room, like TNA and WWE writers, just being able to just dissect this and figure out where they want to go long term with this. It's endless. It is truly endless what they can do Tuesday night, and that's it. There's no other way other than to get your hopes up, because that's what this is, man. Like, all eyes are going to be on it. All eyes are going to be on NXT TNA Showdown on Tuesday night. I promise you. And hey, they got to know that. Like, this is going to be I don't want to say make or break, but this is going to be pretty substantial to the rest of this relationship.
Yeah, you said it. Hit the nail on the head. I mean, if this doesn't hit the expectations people want, then why are people going to continue to care about TNA versus NXT? And I think that, especially you just mentioned right earlier with storylines, that writer's room to be a fly on that wall would be amazing for them both sides, coming up with their ideas, trying to find storylines to continue this feud, between characters, maybe not the brands themselves, but the characters between the brands. And that's the stuff that I'm really excited about, to see what storylines branch off from this episode. And I honestly really hope that maybe they do have a PLE in the near future where it's, rehashing this showdown, but in a PLE format. Maybe not having the Survivor Series matches, but championship matches where they're defending each other's championships against, the other brand. I hear myself talking now, and I'm seeing myself have so much expectations, and I think I just rely too much on the nostalgia factor from that old invasion angle between WWE and WCW. And just the outcomes of that. Like, that was, people talk about their favorite matches of all time. And, it's always like, Brett versus Shawn or something like that. To me, as a kid, especially nostalgia factor, that Survivor Series match, Team WWF versus Team WCW, ECW, that alliance, the moments in that match, how that, climax to that point, everything that came beforehand, the championship changes, seeing WWE guys as WCW champions and WCW guys as WWE champions, like that stuff was so freaking cool. The defectors, the traders, the people you didn't expect to really show up for their brands, and they do. It's just, I know what's possible. We've seen it, and I hope they recreate it. I'm putting all my eggs in this basket because I feel like this is the one time in the next maybe decade or even two where we're going to see an angle where this is possible. And I don't think we see this kind of thing happen unless like WWE decides to buy AEW. And who knows if that's ever going to happen, if that's even possible, if that's going to happen down the road. But that, to me, that's the next time that this could potentially happen. So I just want the best to happen, and I know that Shawn and Santino and the TNA execs and everyone in NXT are really going to want this to be the best it can be. So I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it. And if not, I'm just going to bitch about it on the podcast next week.
Yeah.
So here we are.
And I know that see, now I'm like digging way too deep in my brain, right? Clearly it was originally called Invasion. The name got heat. They switched off that to Showdown. Santino in the promo to start off said, it's been, we discussed it before, it's been very respectable between the two brands working together, the two companies working together. But next month is November. November is famously known for Survivor Series. Now, I'm not saying that they need another NXT versus TNA match at Survivor Series. Could it happen? Absolutely. Could they have their own PLE as, NXT and TNA Survivor Series style? Sure. But I feel like the showdown, which is it's supposed to be about respect a little bit, something's going to happen Tuesday night where the respect is lost.
I hope so.
The respect is going to be lost, and it's going to turn into a war. This is just the tip of the iceberg, I hope. Now, it's announced TNA has live events at Full Sail after Bound for Glory. What is going to happen to where all of a sudden TNA is now in NXT's home for 3 weeks live? I don't know. But
you know what would be
you
an
gotta
awesome
put,
you know what would be an
go,
awesome PLE name for a PLE that they could do? TNA Takeover. Rip the old NXT takeovers, make it TNA Takeover. I think that would be freaking amazing.
Dude, I wish we were hired because we're just rattling off ideas right now, and that's just why it's so exciting. And how can you not have the expectations set high?
Yeah.
So Tuesday night, I'm hoping if it's a little disappointing, it's just the beginning. This whole actual rivalry between TNA and NXT, it's just the beginning. Trick Williams still, after Tuesday night, no matter what happens, will be holding the TNA world title. Kalani Jordan, although she's Team TNA, an NXT superstar, holds the women's world title for TNA. The Hardys will be holding, I'm telling you, it's a spoiler. The Hardys will be holding the NXT World Tag Team titles. So it's just the beginning. I'm just hoping the respect being shown by Santino and Ava goes out the door after Tuesday night, lead into Bound for Glory, lead into a full-blown takeover of TNA at Full Sail, really try to show some dominance. NXT's fighting back for their arena. That's what I want, bro.
Dude, it's gotta, I mean, the writing's on the wall. I don't know, man. There's not much more I can say about it, but they gotta pull the trigger. And I hope you're right. I hope come Wednesday morning the respect's gone and TNA and NXT are just full blown war at this point. I want it. I mean, come on. If you're in that writer's room, how do you not pull that trigger? How do you not say, let's blow the roof off professional wrestling, off, this partnership. Let's give the people what they want and more. Like, let's exceed expectations because they can. They can easily exceed expectations if they go nuclear between these two brands. So NXT, TNA, WWE, TKO, pull the fucking trigger, make us all happy, and give us exactly what we want.
Give us what we want is what we'll be hoping all week up until Tuesday night. Thank you all for joining us. We're going to cut it at the 45-minute mark. Ty is obviously in the middle of a move. I have to go eat dinner. The Yankees game 3 is in about a half hour against the Red Sox. So thank you all for tuning in, all 237 of you, to the 10 Count podcast sponsored by bodyslam.net. We appreciate you all. We want to hear what your thoughts are leading into NXT TNA Showdown. If we can make it for a quick count on Sunday, I know it's been a few weeks since we had a quick count, but obviously Ty's on a move. I am busy with fall stuff with my 10-month-old son, so it's kind of hard to say no to pumpkin picking or apple picking right now.
Gotta get those first in, man.
Yeah, you got to do it. But thank you all for joining us. We hope you have a great rest of the week. Please go subscribe to the Body Slam Patreon for exclusive breaking news, interviews, podcasts, and more. $5 a month, well worth it. Please go subscribe to us at the 10 Count Pod on all social media platforms. Our episode with the Righteous has been doing very well. Love to see it. Our episode with Tremont has been doing very well, so love to see that as well. I just think we have to do more interviews. So if you're interested in coming on the show for an interview, let us know. We'll be here. We're ready to do it. Go purchase some merch at prowrestlingtees.com. We have the 10 Count official shirt. We have the quick count as well. And yeah, just have a great rest of the week. Thank you all for joining us. And until next week, or maybe Sunday, we are out.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.